Definitely Romans 12:2, which is don't be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove that what is good, acceptable, and the perfect will of God. And Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God, all his righteousness, all these things shall be added unto you. Definitely very simple, probably to some cliche, but at the end of the day, two of the most simple words that really that never stop living, because you can always being transformed, because the thing about it is living a life of faith, period. And honestly, it really doesn't matter what your faith is in. The structure of faith itself is designed for change, because you don't know what's going to happen next, and it's designed for you really not to know what's going to happen next. But specifically, when we're talking about faith in God and really being transformed, I mean, it definitely takes faith, because you got to realize when you come into the knowledge of God, that's one thing. But then when you start to walk in the knowledge of God, that's a whole nother thing. And that's a whole nother transformation that I think sometimes gets lost when people are, even talking about salvation. Most people are asked, so when did you get saved? And honestly, I hate that question, because I feel like I still am getting saved. It's like I'm still getting there. And I always reflect back to the disciples. It's like Christ had to change their minds about a lot of ways that they thought in order for them to carry out what he had for them to carry out. And it's the same way with us, It doesn't just happen. For some, maybe it does happen that day they make a decision, I'm going to follow Christ, or when they get baptized. Before most of us, there's a little purging that has to go on, you know what I'm saying? There's a little cleansing and a little, some walking through and getting rid of some ideals and ways that we even saw God or see God, to be able to, prove what is good and acceptable in his perfect will. Because our ideas are not his ideas. Our ways are not his ways. And we have to get into that mindset to become, so that we can prove that, And, definitely seeking him first is a big challenge, especially, I mean, if any of you listening or looking, especially if you're an American, seeking God first is so cliche in this country that, that's why I say, some people think that's cliche. Seek ye first. I figured you say that one. Why don't you just say, for God so loved the world, he gave his only, But it's like we take those simple nuggets, of wisdom and nuggets of pure truth for granted a lot. And that's why I keep using them over and over. And people go, oh, you signed in on my thing last year. And I'm like, obviously you still need it, That's why I signed it again, because obviously you haven't taken that in and owned that thing. And for me, I'm like, wow, over the years of doing this and having to sign autographs, I always said, you know what? I want to make sure I leave people with something more than my scribble. Because my scribble don't mean nothing. But if I can do my scribble and give them something that they can really walk away with, where when they do see my scribble, they don't see my scribble, they see what's under my scribble, and it causes them to go beyond my signature. Okay, cool. I flip the signature thing, take the mystique and the star thing out of it and really make something make something of meaning out of it. And so those two scriptures mean a lot to me, and I think that they're definitely those two that I see a lot of musicians use it or whatnot, but they're powerful. They're nuggets of power that we definitely take for granted sometimes, and I'm going to always use them, and I'll use them for the next 30 years if I have to, because they are two scriptures that I have to daily continue to live on. So I'm like, who am I? If I got to keep living on these daily and reminding myself, then I'm going to do that for other people. Maybe they don't have to focus on it as much as I do, but whether they like it or not, this is a piece of me, and here's my signature, and here's what I'm working towards, and here's what I'm working on. and maybe this can help you.
Another record will hit, explode, make your brains hang. Speak my language and my dialect, circulate like a boomerang, man. What did you expect? He feel it, she feel it, we feel it.